Here we go. Welcome to the Rebel Alliance briefing. Please visit our website, https://RABR.KAILEJOHANSEN.US. There you can find links to send us feedback, connect to us on social media, or instructions on how to load the podcast onto your device. I'm Kyle John Johansson. This is Andrew Scott Sudsme and Rick Ross Bosley. It's time to talk Star Wars. Star Wars. Yeah, people. So today we're reviewing the Acolyte, the brand new series.
Oh my God.
We've got
I just saw your parentheses, Kyle.
What? Well, that's what they all say, isn't it?
He, him.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Rick says Padawan.
Well, you can do whatever you want, right? Anyway,
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. So.
Don't worry about it. Episode 1 was called Lost/Found. So there's a duality going on there. Somebody's lost, somebody's found. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
Spoiler.
So yeah, there was a lot of action in this one, and they did a lot of hype before, all the 2 or 3 different trailers and all kinds of stuff to get this thing going. And apparently, it's one of the highest rated shows for the first episode of the Star Wars series that they've had out so far.
Sweet. It's pretty good. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's not bad. So
I had ideas, and then I was going to text you, and then I watched episode 2.
Yeah, that's almost better. Episode 2. All right, I'm going to rearrange here for unboxing.
What is it? I'm so excited.
You can't see.
I just can't hide it.
Stop that. Now we have a special treat. It's unboxings.
I thought it was me.
So there's another box that's got the warning label on it.
Uh-oh.
Yay. Says it's got Funko written right on it too. So
Careful.
It comes that way from Funko.
It
says carton has been sealed with pilfer-proof tape, meaning someone can't open it up and do something to it before you do.
Until they open it.
So they open it again and retape it, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'm getting it open. Here's the eyeballs. One of the eyeballs. Who do you think it is?
If I get more bags, will you retape it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Who do you think it is?
That's fine.
Boom. You see it? It's lovely. Oh, just the camera here.
That's there. I can't see it. Oh my God.
It's like something else I can't see.
Whoa. He ain't even got glasses on. Me neither.
That's a little bit better in the video.
It attacked me, and then
I don't want to hear about your penis, all right? Shh. So Padme Amandala, this is one of hers. She's wearing a different outfit where she's wearing like her her workout gear or something. I don't know what that is, but she's wearing something. And we gotta point out the number is 701.
Wow.
Side view. We don't know. Do you know how many? I don't know.
I don't know.
Here's the other side.
Ooh.
701. It's got some gray and purple going on there. Yep. Here's the back. This one says Episode 1 Phantom Menace, so this is part of the Phantom Menace collection. So it's not a Clone Wars or something like that. This is one of the outfits she wore there, which I don't remember exactly when she wore this outfit, but look, and there's the top again. Whoa.
Ew. She's falling. She's upside down.
Oh.
Huh?
Okay.
Thing has been traveling in space.
I don't know if anybody can see that, but that's the barcode to get to our website. You can scan that there, right there. Plenty of unboxings in our episodes there. Okay. I'm back
Who is that?
here.
Shine on.
No, I turned that part off. Oh, it's
Oh.
falling. No falling allowed. Okay. So today, again, we're reviewing the Star Wars Acolyte Season 1, Episode 1, Lost and Found. And we just did an unboxing of Padme Amandala. Yay, that was a good one. We've got a director for, I believe, the entire series of the Acolyte is Leslye Headland. There's writers Jason Micallef. I don't know. There's some weird names here. Micallef and Charmaine Degrate. And I think at least these two episodes, those were the writers. We have an editor of Miikka Leskinen, I think. And the music was scored by Michael Abels. That sounds right. Abels. Which we're used to hearing, Kevin Kinner and his clan do most of that. But this is a new guy they got. And it seems to me he repeats a lot of the standard stuff. He just kind of does it a little differently. It's got tones of the Williams music, big orchestra, but it's maybe a piano, electric piano kind of sound or something like that.
I don't know. I thought the intro was pretty cool. It was a little dark.
Yeah, a little dark. So let's go through the cast. We've got a somewhat larger cast than we're used to the last couple shows. So we've got May, which is our, main character, played by Amandala Stenberg. Master Soul, played by Jung-Jae, which we haven't really talked about, but he's I don't know if you ever saw that one show where that was on Netflix where they played this game for money and they had to do these certain things, and if they didn't do them right, they got killed.
Oh yeah, the Korean movie.
Yeah, that was an awesome movie, and there's supposed to be a season 2 and a season 3 coming out.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was the main character in that show too. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it just seemed to get better and better as it went along. Then we've got our new breakout star, Yord Fandar, played by Charlie Barnett. Jecki Lion, played by Dafne Keen. That's the one that had the little weird spiky horns on the sides. Mother Aniseya is played by Jodie Turner Smith. I think we see her briefly in the episode as mother of maybe May, I think. Anyway, Vernestra Rwoh is played by Rebecca Henderson. She's the green character, Vernestra. Indara is played by Carrie-Ann Moss. I don't think we ever hear Indira's last name because they just go by Master Indira or whatever. Fillik is played by Anthony Abram. I think Fillik is the little slimy guy that's in the apothecary shop. There's Tasi Loa, played by Thara Shone. I'm not sure who Tasi is. I haven't placed it fully in the episode yet. There was a couple of younglings that were in that one of those first scenes with Master Soul. They were played by Daniel Zin Yao Waterman. Got a American and Chinese names all mixed into there, or Korean, whatever it is. Sienna Khiroya and Jeremiah Evans. When we go to that, I think it's at the other planet, or not the other planet. There's in prison when they're on the ship. There's a restrained convict, and his name is Dan Mylan. He might be the one that had the weird thing on his face.
Yeah.
And another convict was Thomas Combs. And then we had the little actresses that played Little May and Little Osha, I think is how they say her name, Osha.
Yeah.
And they were played by twins, of course, Leah Bradley and Lauren Bradley. We don't know which one's which because they're twins.
So the bigger version is played by one person. She's doing dual roles.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe the twins look so much like her. I don't know. Maybe they gave him some acceleration growth pills.
Oh, shut up. Put them in the back of the tank.
Exactly.
They went
All
through
right.
You want to know what I thought? You want to know what I thought during the first and a little bit of the second episode? But she was doing it in her dreams by the Force.
Yeah, I thought about that too. I thought she was yeah, she was either dreaming it or she was like had multiple personalities. That's what I thought. The first at least the first part of the first episode, I kind of, sorry to say, but I kind of had figured out it was a twin because they did a few things that were a little different. But anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
Sorry, I just wanted to put that
No, it's okay. Put it out there. The Acolyte season 1 episode 1 Lost/Found first aired on June 4th. It was 40 minutes long. This was the longer of the 2 episodes. And again, the timeline was 132 before the Battle of Yavin. And I wanted to put that in perspective, maybe, if I can pull it up fast enough. No, I can't. Yes, I can. Here we go. I got it over here. I'm going to share my screen. Let's just do the application. Let's try that. Share with sound. Okay, so this is our website. You see it? I'm going to click on Star Wars Timeline. We're going to talk about this for a minute.
Ooh.
So recently, in the last year or so, Disney has added some stuff to the timeline. They've added Dawn of the Jedi, the Old Republic. The High Republic was always there, but the Old Republic and the Dawn of Jedi are new. And then at the back end, they added the New Jedi Order, which is after the last Skywalker series. So I wanted to kind of place this so the Acolyte is way here in the High Republic, and we've got episode 1, 2, and 3, Clone Wars, all that stuff way over here during Fall of the Jedi is what they're calling it. And then Age of the Rebellion, Reign of the Empires are first movies that came out. Star Wars, New Hope, Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Way up here is in the High Republic era is where the Acolyte starts. And it says here 82. I need to fix that since we know that it's 132. I wonder if it might progress into 82. I don't know. We'll have to see, I guess. But it's way up here. The only other show is this Young Jedi Adventures, which is mostly made for kids. So kind of places where we're at.
So that means going back and doing some stuff older later.
Possibly. The only there's several characters we know from the series that actually appear at this timeline. Obviously, there's Yoda. There could be Chewbacca could be old enough. He's like 200 years old or something is what he tells Han Solo. There's the lady in the new series with the weird goggles, whatever her name was. She did the bar. She ran the bar. She was like really old too. She'd been managing the bar for 1,000 years, is what they said. So we know a few people have been or could show up. I don't think most of them will. I think the only one we'll actually ever see is maybe Yoda.
She did Yoda.
Yeah, sure.
Well, maybe we'll see a young Chewie.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know if that was him running through the thing in the second episode.
No,
Nah,
it wasn't.
no,
His
no,
name
no.
is Kalanick. You didn't pay attention to the name when they were talking about him? Kalanick.
He's a different
All right.
Wookiee.
Yeah. He isolates himself in the jungle. All right. So what that means, guys, is it's time to grab your favorite beverage, pull up a chair, and join us in the Rebel Alliance briefing room, where we're gonna discuss everything
this is sponsored
in detail.
by Prime.
Prime? No, not at all.
Yes.
So we had an opening crawl on this episode. And it says at the beginning, it says 100 years before the rise of the Empire, it's a time of peace. What do they do during peace? There's nothing to do. The Jedi Order, and the Galactic Republic have prospered for centuries without war. But the dark corners of the galaxy, a powerful few learn to use the Force in secret. One of them, a lone assassin, risks discovery to seek revenge. And then we get and then they start the episode. So the episode starts out with May. She's got a veil kind of outfit on, and she's entering a settlement on a planet called Udea. She speaks to a peddler who tells her the whereabouts of a Jedi in return for some coins. I think there's 2 coins she gave the person. May enters a cantina full of beings of various species. She walks up to a cloaked Jedi Master, Indara, telling her that they have unfinished business. In the presence of other customers, she dares Indara to attack her with all her strength, which is weird because you'll see later she repeats the same kind of phrasing for someone else, which I'm not really sure what that really means, or if it's just a routine kind of thing or what. But it's just weird. Yeah. Several individuals respond with laughter and doubt, I guess, until Indira raises her hand and says, "Stop." Indira is unwilling to fight May, but the younger woman is belligerent. When Indira responds that the Jedi do not attack the innocent, May disagrees and assaults several customers, starting a brawl. She kicks the chair out of one guy to start with. That was kind of funny. Laying flat on the ground. One of the alien customers tries to draw a blaster out of his holster, but May slams the table into his path. Indira grabs May's hand from behind, prompting May to fight her instead. Indira dodges May's blows, prompting May to draw a dagger. Ooh, a weapon. Now it's getting serious. May attempts to stab Indira with the dagger. Here. Oh, here we go. But the Jedi uses her height and combat skills to fend off May's attack. She just knows when to put her hand up and tell her to stop. I always think that's funny. Stop! Oh, okay, I'll stop. I'm sorry.
There's a few Matrix nods to that too, though.
Yeah, it was quite a few. Blah blah blah. May takes a female. May does a bunch of skills and stuff, and she jumps up another level with the Force and her climbing abilities, and she takes another female hostage that's running by. She throws her downstairs to distract Indira, but Indira uses the Force to stop the patron from hitting the ground, at least softly. She drops.
She levitates her.
That didn't hurt that much. Thank you.
Oops.
Then Indara calls on a comlink and says, "Hey, I have a force user here that's unsanctioned." And Indara pursues May through the upstairs area where the fight resumes with knives and stuff. Shoom, shoom, shoom. They're throwing each other around with the force. Her combat and uses her superior combat skills to fight off May's knife attacks, cornering her against the wall. And a third round, Indara grabs her knife and disarms her. Indara rips off May's mask and recognizes her as someone she knows. Oh, who is it? She says, "You. Why are you here?" She demands to know what May is doing and prompts May to say that she has come here to kill her.
Oh no!
Really? Why is she fighting her if she doesn't want to kill? I don't get it. May uses the force to hurl Indara against a wooden wall. She then hurls a pair of blades at Indara, who uses her lightsaber to cut and scatter them. May draws her final dagger, but Indara advances, warning her that this is a fight she cannot win. You cannot win against a Jedi. May counters that a Jedi does not pull out their weapon, being the lightsaber, unless she is going to kill someone. May secretly pulls out another dagger behind her back. Oh, where'd that come from? She distracts Indara by hurling a dagger at the alien barkeep, which is a dirty trick, and prompts Indara to use the force to stop the blade midair. But while she's distracted, May stabs her in the chest. May watches as the Jedi Master succumbs to the injuries and walks away. She basically falls to the ground and just lays down dead.
So
disappointed.
So why did she disappear and her clothes just stay there?
Because she's not fully dead yet. And you only do that because you're one with you know the secrets.
Yeah,
anyway, she approaches the alien barkeep and retrieves her dagger. She considers killing him, but changes her mind after seeing that his child whimpering and scared next to him. Poor little kid's crying and everything. Oh, don't hurt us. Don't kill my daddy. He's my only daddy I got. And kind of what Scott was saying. I think Yoda was the first one to do that. Or no, it was what we saw was Obi-Wan Kenobi, but Yoda, I think, in the timeline was the first one to do it. No, maybe not. Who was the first?
Yoda died after Obi-Wan.
Oh, it was Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon did it. Yeah, Qui-Gon was the first one. Anyway, so going elsewhere in space, Minik Osha Aniseya wakes up in her cabin and chats with her droid Pip. Shortly later, a red alarm rings, summoning them for work. In the corridor, she chats with another Minik named Fillik. Oh, so that's the weird guy that was up there with her. Okay. Who tells Osha that she missed out on a trip to Nar Shaddaa the night before. Osha says she does not. What she does in her free time is none of his business.
Yeah.
I'm a loner and I like it. When Osha asked about what emergencies they're responding to, Fillik explains that the shield generator needs repairs. They walk past two nematodons when Osha says that the Trade Federation doesn't use shields. Fillik suggests that's why it needs to be repaired.
Yeah.
What? The Trade Federation doesn't use shields, but we're fixing a shield? That's weird. The two Minics exit the airlock and head to the shield generator. The impatient nematodon Captain Blex regards the Minix as disposable, prompting another officer to respond to their cargo is not. Osha reminds the nematode officers that they can hear them over the comms. Hello, we're here. We can hear you talking bad about us. Hello, we're people too. Osha quips that Fillik is disposable, but she is not. And Fillik finds that the emitter duct is not conducting the field projection. Osha proceeds to weld it back together with the help of the pip droid. She takes the head off of it or something and uses some sort of arc welder on that built into the droid.
It's a multi-tool.
Fillik suddenly reports that the pressure gauge is spiking. Then it explodes. Osha is about to attend the leaking gauge, but is haunted by her childhood memories and her and May being separated from their parents during a calamity.
Stares into the fire.
Which is weird because we're in space. Rick knows and Scott knows that you can't have fire in space because there's no oxygen. So how does that work? Number one. And there was a lot of flack about that on the internet. Everybody complained about it, so I had to bring it up. But how do you have fire? And it looks like a campfire. It's flickering and all kinds of stuff, like it's burning wood.
It's the oxygen escaping. That's what it is. It's like Old Faithful.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
I don't know. So the big question is, what's the cargo?
Yeah, we don't know what the cargo is for sure. And I'm not sure if it really even matters right now because we're just doing backstory, right?
True.
I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it does. Fillik reminds her to stop daydreaming, and she returns to work. Osha extinguishes the fire just as a Jedi starship circles the Trade Federation starship. Fillik asks Osha what are those? Ask Osha if those are friends. Oh. She thinks that the Jedi are her friends. Huh. Then we switch around and see that Jedi Knight Yord Fandar and his Padawan Tashi Loa. So that's where the Tashi Loa comes in. The Padawan enters the bridge. Yeah. They tell the Nematodan captain that they are looking for a former Jedi named Osha Aniseya. What? That's our repair girl. Who is that? Another officer responds that they're a cargo ship and don't carry passengers. What are you talking about? We don't have any passengers. Fandar says that the Jedi have information that Osha is working as a Minix who does freelance outer ship repair. The officer denies hiring Minix because it's against regulations, basically. They're only supposed to use droids, apparently. But Fandar raises his hand and gestures to the insolent that he is preparing to use a mind trick. And the female nematode officer responds that Osha is in bunk 23 on a sublevel of the ship. He says, I'm gonna read your mind. No, don't do that. I'll tell you right away. The two Jedi head downstairs to find Osha, and Osha recognizes Fandar. Because he's popular on the internet, that's why. And is pleased to learn that he has passed the Jedi trials to become a Jedi Knight. Ooh. Fandar remarks that Osha has chosen to settle in the Corp sector, which is far from Coruscant, as far as you can get, apparently, is what he said. When he asks Osha about the purpose of the visit, he taps his lightsaber. Partly because she's reaching for something and he doesn't know what it is, and it's that droid she's got her stashed in her little side pocket there. After the Padawan Loa enters the bunk, Fandar advises Osha to take a seat. Loa asks Osha how she has been how long has she been a Minik? Osha says that since she left the Jedi Order 6 years ago, she's been a Minik, and Loa types her answers into a data pad. Oh, this is official. Osha says that she left the Jedi Order, but found that her skills weren't transferable and took up this job because she needed a paycheck. You gotta pay for food, you know.
Gotta give credit.
And apparently droids and stuff. When Loa asked Osha when she joined the Jedi Order, Osha says that she joined when she was 8 years old and says that Fandar knows this already. Loa responds that there was a major concern about admitting her to the Jedi was her age, while Fandar adds that she had been mourning at the time of her recruitment. Which are both bad things, apparently. She's too old, and she's disgruntled because of a death or something. And Osha replies that the circumstances of her recruitment were unique, but that's the Jedi Council had made the decision to accept her. Fandar recalls that Osha had lost her entire family, including her mother, her sister, and the entire village in the fire before Master Soul had recruited her. Oh, so she knows Master Soul. Fandar says that attachments to loved ones are the most difficult to let go of. When Osha asks why they are here, Loa responds that a Jedi was murdered on Udea last night. And Fandar adds that the Jedi Master was Indira. Oh, she knows Indira too now. All of a sudden. Who would do that? Loa says the suspect matches Osha's description exactly. When Osha asks if they think she killed Indira, Lola asks where she was last night. Where were you? Osha says that she was on this freighter last night and asks why she would kill Indira. She's a friend, you know. Fandar responds that Master Indira had advised the Jedi Council to discontinue her training. Oh. So we find out that Indira made the decision that May was not going to be a good Jedi. Osha responds that leaving the Jedi Order was her hardest decision. And it was her decision, not Indira's. So basically she gave up, and that's why Indira told the council to let her go. Osha denies murdering Master Indira. Shortly, Loa brings in the barkeep and enters, and immediately he identifies May. He says, "That's the girl. She's the one who killed the Jedi and shut up my bar." And Fandar says that this doesn't matter. That it doesn't matter what he thinks on the matter, because Osha is like, "I didn't do it." He says it doesn't matter what I think. The two Jedi escort her down the corridor where a burly red droid waits to escort her to the ship bound for Coruscant. And it was a scary droid too. I don't know. It was a cross between a couple of them that we've seen already. It was kind of weird. Osha tells Fandar and Loa that they are making a big mistake, and she enters the prison transport. The transport disengages from the Federation starship before jumping to hyperspace immediately. Yeah, that droid was weird. It was like a cross between a stormtrooper and a droid or something. It was kind of strange. Helmet was different than a stormtrooper, but still. And we go back to the Jedi Temple in Coruscant. Master Soul instructs a group of younglings about how to meditate. He says, like close your eyes because your eyes are deceiving you and you can't trust them. He says, listen to the ocean. And he tells them what comes into their mind and asks them what comes into their minds while they're thinking about the ocean. Just then, Master Ventra Rwoh enters the room. which I keep coming over this name, and oddly enough, in Star Trek, there's a character called Rwoh,
Yeah.
which is a bad character at one point. She's nice for a while, but then she turns bad because she's disgruntled about something. She gets possessed by another alien or something.
I was looking at something earlier, and I guess that lady is supposed to be like 140 or 150 at this point in time.
Yeah.
So she's been around for a while.
Yeah, and I'm remind me to talk about her when, in my theories later on.
Okay.
We'll see. So the two younglings answer Rwoh or Saul that the force is balance and life. And another one, girls likens the balance to expanding fire. Oh, that's different. Wait a minute. Saul responds that the force is like fire or an ocean. Sometimes something that they must respect at all times. He dismisses the younglings for lunch before speaking to Master Rwoh, whom he addresses as an old friend. Rwoh describes Saul as a compassionate teacher and has memories of Saul as a small child. Rwoh informs Saul of the death of Master Indara and tells him that they have detained the former Padawan Osha Aniseya as a suspect. Saul noticing Saul's shock and sadness, Rwoh remarks that she underestimated his attachment to Osha. Saul recalls that Osha was a devoted Padawan and sees no reason for her to kill Master Indara. Rwoh says that the evidence is against her and very strong. So we have a witness. You destroyed my bar.
It was her. I know it was her.
Saul responds that he and Indara saved Osha from the terrible fire on Brindok. And that she saw them as their protectors, not her enemies. Saul believes that there must be some mistake, and Rwoh and Saul agree to keep the matter secret, since the political opponents could use it against them. The news would, if the news were to become public knowledge, which is suspicious to start with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would it? Why couldn't it be something you say to the public? I don't get it.
What enemies?
Right.
Mm.
What enemies? Rwoh asks Saul if he will support pursuing justice for the murder of Indara in this matter, and Saul agrees but sighs in private. He's like, okay, but aboard the prison ship, Osha speaks with her fellow inmates. One of her inmates has been restrained by a parasite known as Dybuke due to violent tendencies. Let's see here. Let's see what that information is about. So, Dybuke was a parasite species used by the Galactic Republic to subdue violent criminals in the High Republic era. It was said that the effects messed with the minds of the inmates, which we learned in the episode. She speaks to her two fellow inmates who ask her who actually killed the Jedi. They say, "Well, we're planning escape," and they ask May to join them. Osha asks where they are escaping to since they are traveling through hyperspace. Where are you gonna go, man? You can't escape from a ship. It's weird. And the human inmates proposes overpowering the droids and escaping in the escape pods. Osha says that she has faith in the Jedi, prompting the alien to tell her to enjoy her prison. Because that's what the Jedi do. They just put you in prison. A third cyborg convict transmits a signal that causes the pilot droids to shut down. Oh, they didn't tell us about the cyborg. shut down, bringing the prison ship out of hyperspace and into an asteroid field, where it begins to hit and throw the ship all over the place. Boom. A tentacled prisoner takes out the warden droid by beheading it with its tentacle. That takes a lot of strength to take someone's head off. With just twisting it, that's crazy. Several prisoners flee in an escape pod, but they abandon Osha due to her unwillingness to take part in the escape attempt.
Yeah, they didn't give her
they didn't give her much choice, did they?
no handouts.
Nothing for you. They didn't even unlock her cell, did they?
No. Asked for them to give her a hand, and they refused.
Yep. The Persian ship is left floating, abandoned in space, above a planet. Osha uses the Force to retrieve her pip droid. Or did she? I think the ship just kind of tumbled around. I don't think she has the Force ability. Or knows that she has it. Something. And the droid just basically tumbles back into her finger's reach. She uses Pip to unlock the cell and then frees the paralyzed prisoner from his parasite diabute. The prisoner, however, flees in the escape pod, leaving Osha behind by herself. And she screams in fury. Because that was the last escape pod. The ship descends to the planet's atmosphere, and she fastens herself into a seat and braces for impact. Yeah. The ship crashes into a frozen world of Karlak. What? Oh, Burr. It's nice and cold, right? And the ship breaks apart a little bit, so she's getting the cold air and everything blowing right into the ship. But we switch to Coruscant, and Padawan Jecki Lion informs Master Soul that Master Rwoh is requesting presence at the detainment level. Oh, in private, Lon asks Rwoh where that he keeps old holopics of it. Why he keeps old holopics of his former Padawan Osha, saying that it encourages sentimentality and nostalgia, which lead to attachment. Which, Jedi aren't supposed to have attachments. Soul responds that memories can serve as lessons, that if they don't meditate on the past, they're doomed to repeat their mistakes. Lessons learned, right? Lon returns to finishes the final sentence because Soul has been teaching her that all along.
She's heard it.
She's heard it 1,000 times, right? Man, you talk a lot, Soul. At the detainment level, the recaptured prisoner from the prison ship claims that the Jedi killer orchestrated the escape. It's not my fault. We didn't do it. The Jedi killer did it. Master Rwoh believes Soul about the situation. Rwoh speaks to one of the prisoners and asks him what happened to the young woman. Under the influence of Soul's mind tricks, the prisoner tells her that she escaped him, but he betrayed her and took the last escape pod. So he, clears out all the craziness with
that
the
whole
Force.
thing reminded me of like an Aliens. Remember the Aliens with like
yeah, get on top of your face.
Yep.
A little bit. But it was it looked like a piece of skin almost. It was weird.
Yeah, but those things were like.
Yeah, they had the fingers.
Yeah.
More like that, I guess.
I don't know. Kind of just like went over.
I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Then they egg or whatever.
Yeah, they took over your whole body and laid eggs in there. Last escape. Rwoh responds that it still isn't clear Osha did not kill Indira, When Sol asks if there was life signs on Karlik, Rwoh responds that the Republic has dispatched probe droids to survey the wreckage, but they haven't heard anything. Sol requests permission to go to Karlik and bring Osha back with him. And Rwoh does not think that Osha survived, but Sol insists as he means to take responsibility for his failure with Osha, meaning, she was his Padawan and he failed. Rwoh permits Sol to assemble a small team, but tells him to be discreet because we don't want our enemies to know, right? Jecki Lion accompanies Master Sol for the manhunt, but is not keen about bringing Yord Fandar because, he takes all the attention away from everybody. He's an attention getter on the internet and everything.
Yord.
Yeah, Yord. The two walk into Fandar's quarters where he is changing and flexing his abs, apparently. Sol tells them that they are leaving in 5 minutes, and Lorne tells Fandar to put on some clothes, please. I can't take it. You're too sexy. Put on some clothes. And the three depart from the Jedi temple on a starship. I think that's why everybody likes him, is because he's got all these abs. And it looked like he had like 8 or 9 of them or something. He had too many.
And like a 12.
12, something.
Meanwhile,
Lon asks Sol about Osha. Master Sol explains that he was stationed on Osha's homeworld of Brindok 16 years ago when her sister May started a fire that killed her entire family. Huh. So her sister started the fire, and Osha was the sole survivor, and he took her as his Padawan. Because he felt sorry for her, I guess. I don't know. Sol declares that May was Osha's twin sister. And then he's like, what? What does that mean? I think, oh no. And Fandar is surprised to learn that Osha has a twin. Lon notices that there's no mention of May in the Jedi files, as if May is the true killer. Huh? Sol believes that May is dead, having witnessed her supposed death. And he said supposed. So it's not confirmed yet. Supposed. With quotes. Where's that? Okay, quotes. Supposed death. The Jedi depart for Karlek in a smaller shuttle, which exits the larger Jedi starship. Osha sees the approaching Jedi ship and hides. Fandar and Lorne inspect the wreckage. She finds a cave to hide in. The former believes that nobody survived the landing of the Lorne, and Lorne disagrees. Sol thinks scavengers are at work and lead the group outside. Osha flees through a network of tunnels that lead to the edge of a cliff, which reminds me of the tunnel that Luke Skywalker was meditating on when he was projecting himself. He had a little platform, but it looks kind of like that same area. Master Sol, Osha pleads her innocence as they catch her at the end of the tunnel. She pleads her innocence and falls over the edge. She slips, her feet are unstable, and Sol uses his force ability. Boom! He says, "Osha!" Boom. And she's suspended there, and he pulls her back up onto the cliff, whatever you want to call it.
The ledge.
Sol is relieved to see her again. When Osha tells him that May is alive, Sol says he believes her, but tells Osha that she needs to come with them. And they leave the cliff together. Dun, dun, dun.
So
Elsewhere.
what's the is it since you know they were twins? Is the little girl leading her? Is that an aberration, or is that soul reaching? Is that force reaching out from another party?
Well, it could be May reaching out through the force. But I mean, we're to believe that Osha doesn't really have that much force ability. So, I don't think from what I see in this first episode and the second episode, she has almost no force abilities at all that she knows of. She supposedly was trained as a Jedi, but maybe she just doesn't remember how to use them anymore, or doesn't want to. You know how Luke Skywalker turned off his connection to the Force for a long time because he didn't want to be detected. He didn't want anything to do with it because, Kylo Ren ruined his world. Kylo Ren. Whatever. So let's get through this last part, which is just a very small bit left. Elsewhere, May walks along the rocky shore as a male voice talks about the Jedi leaving in a dream, which they believe everyone shares. He says that those who attack the Jedi with weapons fail, since steel and lasers are no threat to them. He says that the Acolyte kills without a weapon, adding that the Acolyte kills the dream, and May approaches the dark figure in the distance who is wielding a red lightsaber.
Who is that?
Who is that exactly? We don't know. That's the whole thing, and that brings me back to my theories and stuff. So, any ideas, Rick? Who do you think that? We know he's got a mask because he talks muffled a little bit with a mask going on there. Well, so it's a
mask too when he kind of turns on the profile, but I don't know. I looked up a couple things, and it's not people that I know. That there's a lot of speculation on who this could be.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of books about this High Republic era. I don't know. There's probably 10 or 12 books. Most of them are written for teens. The teen era group or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-teen era. So there's a lot of romance and whatever in them and stuff, but there's a lot of lore in there too about the Sith and the Jedi and whatever, and supposedly one of those guys is this Jedi master or Sith master, and I don't know. Does it sound like it's a male's voice, or is it? Can you tell?
I mean, I think you're supposed to be led to believe that it's a guy, but I don't know. From the stuff that I saw, one of the connections was they think it's the guy who trained Palpatine.
Could be.
But there's a couple other people that they think it possibly could be. So I don't know. I mean,
Does that guy have a mask?
The time
that guy had a mask.
Kind of throwing stuff off. Because you're talking roughly 130 years ahead, 120 easily.
Yeah.
From what we know, with Palpatine and whatnot. So
yeah, and we see Palpatine as in Phantom Menace when he's fairly young.
Yeah.
Let's say 40s or something like that.
Yeah.
He might age to 60 or something by the time he gets killed or something. Supposedly killed.
I have no idea who that is. I think that's going to be the huge question, is trying to figure out who this guy is and how that, or this individual is, and how they got to that position.
Yeah, so there's a lot of rumors online. And they say that one of the people that they think is a good possibility is one of the characters in episode 2. But I have a theory that the this Rwoh person might be just might be the Sith Lord, the green Ventura Rwoh, which it's a weird out of the blue kind of theory, but um I think they're trying to be it's obfuscation by
What?
hiding in public and you just don't know kind
I
of thing.
think
It's obvious once you find out, but once you find out, you don't know. You didn't even realize. That's kind of what I think they're trying to do, and I think that a character that we've seen, maybe in episode 2, is the Sith Lord. We just
be.
don't see them. So, like I said, the credits were rolling there. We're done with our episode. Yay. And we want your feedback. We've given you some of our ideas, and we'll give you a few more here in a minute. We want you to send yours in at feedback@kylesjohansson.us. Go to our website. There's a feedback button there. You can click and go look at feedback. There's also a link there for social media, which we're on Twitter/X at super_duper_pod. We're on Blue Sky at Blue Sky at Rebel Alliance Briefing Room. And we're on YouTube where you can leave comments for both audio and video up there. And I have seen quite a bit of talk about this on Blue Sky as well. Most of those things I sent you guys about Yord and stuff came from Twitter, but I think it all started on Blue Sky to begin with. If people don't know, there's a meme out there now where there's Chef Boy Yord RD and there's Yorda in replacing Yoda. All those things because they everybody's fascinated by Yord. They call themselves the Yord Horde. So, any other comments, Scott, about this episode? Where what we first seen, and suddenly on the first episode we kill one of the main characters. One of your favorite people too, Carrie-Ann Moss. She's one of your favorite people, isn't she, Scott?
Huh?
And they killed her right away.
Yeah.
That's not good.
She probably had other obligations anyway.
Yeah, she's got to go for Matrix number 5. That's why she had so many references to the Matrix in her character. Stuff like that. But she's looking kind of rough though, and she's aged well, but she's looking a little rough.
It was a little disappointing that she was there and gone. I was hoping she'd for a couple episodes.
It was like the very first scene, right?
Yeah, she didn't make 10 minutes.
Crazy. But yeah.
She probably made more money than all of us combined together in our lifetimes for that 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. A totally not Star Wars thing, but I don't know. You guys have probably heard that Pat Sajak is quitting Wheel of Fortune, right? So this week is his last week. His last episode airs. I think it aired on Wednesday or Thursday.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday, whatever. And Amy was commenting to me about how why he left and why Vanna's still there and all that stuff. And I was like, well, I know Vanna's there because she's like making like 10 or 15 million an episode. Mm-hmm. Or not I don't know if that's true because they do a lot of episodes, but she's making like a ton of money off of every episode because she quit and then she came back and she says, I'm not coming back unless you pay me. And she's making a ton of money. And I wouldn't quit if I was making that much money. But that's kind of what Indira was. They probably paid her like $5 million to be on there for 10 minutes worth of show.
And who knows what other things that they filmed that maybe because we know there's going to be some more to the backstory of May and Osha, and so there's probably going to be clips that she shows up in later too. So,
Yep.
hey, side note of this too. Never mind. That's the next episode. Forget it. I was ahead of myself because
Well,
I was thinking famous characters. No, I'll wait.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up again since we're at an impasse, and we'll just go to the next episode. Thank you for listening to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR. Down there. KyleJohansson.us. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcast. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KyleJohansson.us. This podcast in no way is approved, sponsored, or owned by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. All opinions are solely owned by Kyle and or Scott and in no way express the views or opinions of their past or present employers. Views and opinions are not supported or restricted by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or any or other use of this podcast and its affiliate sites without consent of Super Duper Podcast Network and its host is prohibited. I am Kyle Jung-Jae, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say goodbye now. And Rick, we still need to remake that. Maybe I'll do that today.
Man, what you been doing all week?
Not had time to remake that, that's for sure.
That's too far. That's too close. It's too big. It's too big. I can't see it.
Okay,
It's
whatever.
scary.
Whatever. If you look up there, there's an address up there too, but you gotta zoom in really good to see it. It's that black piece right there.
That's what she said.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you at the next episode. Bye bye.
Au revoir.
And we're pausing.